So I'll ring the bell to officially start it. So to start this series of mindful movement, just getting yourself comfortable and, if you're able to, just lying on your back. So in this position, your legs are straight. Maybe your feet can kind of fall away from each other. Your arms are straight by your sides. Maybe bring them out a little bit so that your palms can be up, facing the ceiling, and just adjusting as you need to be comfortable, but just relaxing into the floor or whatever you're lying on. And really be mindful of your whole body right now and how it feels. Maybe particularly notice the contact of your body against whatever you're resting on. Different areas where you feel pressure. And also notice your breathing. Notice maybe the movement of your belly or chest as you breathe. And then from here, just raising both your arms up. So keeping your arms straight, lifting them up, and continuing to move them in an arc until they're completely overhead. So that you're kind of reaching behind you in one direction with your hands and the other direction with your feet. So you're just lengthening your body. And just notice how this feels. Notice any feelings of stretching. Just experiencing whatever sensations are here, relaxing into it. If thoughts come up, then just don't notice that those are thoughts. And then bringing the arms back again, being aware of the movement, feeling your arms as you bring them again, moving them until they're by your sides again, and then let them go. And notice how that feels. Notice how your arms feel now, your shoulders, your whole body. Just in touch with your body as it is. And anytime your mind wanders off during this practice, just when you notice your mind's wandered off, then just bring it back again. And then from here, now bending both your knees so that your knees are bent, but your feet are flat on the floor or on whatever you're resting on. And then from this position, just rolling the pelvis forward and back a little, kind of rocking the pelvis. So in one direction, you kind of push your tailbone down and arch your lower back up. And the other direction, you push your lower back against the floor while you raise your tailbone up. So just slowly, gently, kind of loosening up the pelvis this way by rocking it forward and back. And then from here, now raising both your knees up. And if you're able to, just grab hold of your knees. You can bring your head up as well if you want, and maybe even wrap your arms around your knees or your shins. So you're kind of curled up in a ball. Bring your head up, right up towards your knees. And just notice how it feels to be in this position. If you want, you could rock side to side a little, or in a bit of a circle, kind of massaging your lower back that way. And then straightening out the arms and legs again. And coming back to original position. And just notice how that feels. And just experiencing your body as it is right now. And then from here, now raising just your right knee up and grabbing hold of your knee or your shin and just gently pulling it, almost as if you're trying to bring your knee up towards your shoulder, just however far it'll seem to want to go. And then when you've kind of hit that point, just holding it there, letting things gradually stretch out, and just notice the feeling of stretching. Or notice any areas that are tight. Just feeling what this position is like. And then letting go, letting the legs straighten out with awareness, feeling it move, and then feeling what it's like when you let it relax completely. Maybe check in with your breath again. Notice that you're breathing. And then bringing the other knee up and doing the same stretch on this side. Just gently pulling the knee towards your shoulder, towards your chest. Notice where you feel stretching the most, where things are tight. And with any of these stretches, you can intensify it if you want, or you can ease off, depending what you feel you need. So be mindful of your body. Don't strain anything. Don't cause any injuries. So be mindful of your limits. So now straightening out the leg. So both your legs are straight and relaxed again, your arms straight and relaxed. Just letting your body sink into the floor. Being aware of how it feels. Maybe again, notice your breathing. Notice the sensations of your air, your breath moving in and out. And then from here, we're going to actually turn over. And the aim is to come up onto your hands and knees. Notice all the different movements involved and how it feels as you sort of transition. So you're coming ideally to a position where your hands are just under your shoulders and your knees are under your hips. Your back is just flat. If you find it's too uncomfortable to rest directly on your hands, if it hurts your wrists, you could modify. You could always just rest on your forearms if you need to, or you could rest on your fists or on your fingers, whatever sort of works for you. And from this position, we're going to first just mindfully stretch the back a little bit. So we'll kind of arch it up and down. First, if you bring your head up and your belly down, and then bring your head down and at the same time arch your back up, kind of like a cat. And then just going back and forth slowly. So the head up and belly down, and then the head down and back up. And just taking your time slowly back and forth. In yoga, they call these the cow and cat postures. So you may have encountered this before. It's a nice way of getting some movement to the spine, stretching things in the back in ways that we don't usually during the day. If you want, you can try and coordinate it with your breath. Breathing in, perhaps when you bring the head up, and breathing out as you arch the back up. And then bringing your back just to a neutral, flat position again. And from here, if you're able to, just raising your right hand up in front of you, kind of reaching forward, looking past your right hand, And if you're able to, actually bringing your left leg up behind you. So the right hand and the left foot are up, and you're just balanced on one knee and one hand. So this one can be kind of challenging, but if you're able to do it and hold it for a bit, just notice what that's like. Notice the muscles that are engaging, tightening to do this. And then bring your hand and your knee back down again, so you're on all fours. And then maybe just a few more times, arching the back up and down. And then with the back flat, now raising the left arm up in front. And if you're able to, bring the right leg up behind you. And again, just notice what this is like. There's a lot of different muscles that have to engage to hold this. If you need to put your hand or your knee down at any point, you can, or if you're comfortable holding it a little bit longer, see what that's like. And then bring the hand and the knee down and arching the back up and down just a few more times. And then relaxing your back and now turning over again, lying flat on your back, position we started in. Notice again how you feel. Really connect with your body. Feel your breath. And then from here, now bending both your knees with your feet resting flat on the floor. And then from this position, just raising your bum, your lower back completely off the floor, lifting your pelvis up, just however high it'll seem to want to go, and then just stopping there and holding your whole pelvis and lower back up in the air. Notice which muscles are tightening to hold it, or notice any stretching you feel. Notice how your breathing feels in this position. And then bringing your back down again, but keeping the knees bent. So resting your entire back and pelvis again, with the knees still bent, the feet still flat on the floor. And now actually moving your legs even closer together so that your legs, your knees, your feet are touching each other. And bringing your hands under the back of your head. So you might want to just interlock your fingers and just resting the back of your head in your palms. So your elbows will naturally just kind of rest by your side, out to the sides. And then, and even here, notice already if you feel any stretching in the shoulders or chest, or in your arms. And then keeping the legs together, letting your legs just fall over to the right side, letting your knees kind of hang over on the right. They may not reach the ground, that's okay, just letting them hang there. And as the knees are resting to the right side, turning your head to look to the left. So this way you get a twist of the whole spine. And then bringing the knees back to the center and the head to the center. And then doing the same on the other side, letting the knees now fall to the left And at the same time, turn your head to look to the right. And just relax into it. Just notice how it feels. And then bring the knees back to the center and the head to the center. And then you can again straighten out your legs and straighten out your arms. Come back to this kind of neutral resting position. Letting everything go. Just letting your body really sink into the floor. And notice how that feels. If you get lost in thoughts at any point, you can just come back then to your body. So now if you bend actually just your left knee so that the left foot is flat on the floor, the left knee is bent, the right leg just stays straight. But then keeping the right knee straight, raising your entire right leg up in the air, just lifting it up, however high it'll go. And if you want, you could reach behind the leg, grab hold, and just pull gently to accentuate the stretch. And just notice how that feels. Notice where you feel the stretching the most. And then letting the leg come back down. And then straightening out the other leg. Letting both your legs relax. And now bending your right knee so the right foot is flat on the floor, and raising the left leg up in the air. And doing the same stretch now on this side. Just feeling the stretching. And then letting the leg come back down and straightening out the other leg. And again, check in with how it feels. And then from here, we'll do another couple of stretches, but now lying on our sides. So if you kind of turn over onto one side, doesn't matter which you do first, and maybe rest your head in your hand. Your other hand can just rest on the floor in front of your belly. So you've got one leg on top of the other, both knees straight, so both legs straight. And then from here, whichever leg is on top, just raising it up in the air. So lifting it up, again, however far it'll seem to want to go, and just holding it there. And if you want, you could also rotate your foot around the ankle, loosening up the ankle joint a little. Just notice how this feels. And then bringing the leg back down, feeling it move. Feel the letting go when you let all the muscles go loose again. And then turning over onto your other side. I'll flip around so you can still see me. So doing the same thing on this side. Raising the leg up. And then maybe rotating the foot around the ankle. And then bring the leg back down. Just being aware of how this feels, letting it go, feeling what that's like. And then we'll do one last series of stretches just by lying on our stomachs. So if you're able to, just turning over onto your front And maybe even having your arms by your sides, or if you prefer, you could just rest your head on your hands, letting your body sink into the floor. And then from here, just raising your left leg off the floor. So your left foot and your left knee and left thigh, just raising them up. They won't go that high. Just holding them up there, noticing what muscles are engaging to do this. And then letting it come back down and relax. Just feeling your body as it is. And then raising the right leg off the ground in the same way. And then letting it relax. Again, sinking into the floor. And then for the last one, if you bring your arms perhaps by your sides and lift your whole face and neck and upper chest off the ground. So it'll just come up a little bit, kind of like a snake lifting its upper body. Notice how that feels. And then letting it relax again. And then maybe just to finish off, come up from your stomach onto your hands and knees. And just do one more series of arching the back up and down. Just to loosen things up. And we'll come to an end of this brief mindful movement practice. I'll ring the bell to finish us.